Good morning. Good morning. Sorry for the delay. Good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to Trading with Sergio. Um, so far, so good. I will obviously share my screen with you all, my positions, and everything else as usual. But let's take care of some business. So, well, thanks for the support. Channel actually had some good growth over the last week or so. The subs are accelerating actually, which is good because please share. Please, I know you all do, but keep sharing. It's good content. More importantly, this week is going to be, this is the only time I'm going to do a live stream, Trading with Sergio. I am traveling starting Wednesday, so sorry to the members. I'm going to be missing the members only live this Wednesday only. Next Wednesday, we'll be back on schedule. Another thing I'm going to be missing is I'm going to be missing Power Hour this Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. But next week, back on schedule as usual. Yeah, I'm traveling to Tampa, Florida for 3 days, 4 days, possibly Miami. So with that said, today I may go a little bit longer, answer more questions, hang out with you guys a little bit more, show what I did, what I'm trying to do actually. So that's it. If you do miss me on Wednesday, the members, you guys have to hold your stuff together. Don't blow any accounts until I come back. And on Friday, Power Hour is not going to be there. We're still going to put out some content, obviously. Please check them out. The last video actually is doing really well. That's the video that I explained about MicroStrategy and Bitcoin and what I'm doing with the options and how I'm turning that into an ATM machine. Good news. As you all watched on Friday, MSTX, the ETF of MicroStrategy, ended up at $100.35. So I had the $100 calls cover written against my position. I had gotten put 200 shares, and they didn't take it away, to my surprise. So this morning, I had still 200 shares. Usually they do take it away, but then the spreads are pretty wide on those issues. So one of the reasons may be that. So I took an older premium. I had taken in $10 on the 110 calls and then $15 on the 100 calls. So lowered my cost. I had my cost is $89.25 because I had taken in $10.75 when I sold the puts. So in 2 weeks, I taken $10.75 on the puts. On average, I sold the calls at 12.5, 10 and 15. I don't know, what is that, $23 on $100 stock. That's pretty good. So I'm turning that into my ATM machine. I was able to sell some calls this morning, but then I'll get into that. And I'll show you guys my positions. I bought some UMAC. I'll show you that as well. A lot of rotation is happening today. The good thing is market's actually kind of selling off. Nothing major, really, just a little bit lower. But everything I own is outperforming, which I have spoken to you all before. Outperforming is the key. You got to find stocks that are outperforming. I think finally Palantir has put in a top, short-term top, but definitely has put in a top. It's working on a massive key reversal day today. Show you those as well. If you have any stock questions, put them up. I picked in my long-term portfolio, I said this on Friday, I'm repeating again. I don't show that because I'm just showing you guys my trading account, but I give you guys my positions. I'm long ELF, full position. I have a starter position on PLL, and I have a full position on Unity Software. A lot of big moves in the Chinese equities today. They're back in my rotation, right? I mean, you got to rotate in and out. They may get back into the buy on dips category again. A few of them are looking really good. I know some of the members had good positions on those. As far as memberships is concerned, I think everybody got their shirt that they want to get to. We ship them out literally like the next day after you guys order it. If you're a member and you haven't gotten a shirt, you get this for free. Hashtag Know Your Worth t-shirt. It comes on black only. So you have to email me your t-shirt size. and your physical address, so we can ship it out to you at no cost, zero cost. It's about a $30 item. It's a gesture, or I don't know, token of appreciation for your support. The other thing is members only lives are every Wednesday now. Every Wednesday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. I may have to move that around because of my son's soccer schedule, but it won't be that. It'll still be on Wednesdays. And on Mondays, Trading with Sergio continues, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. On Fridays, Power Hour continues, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. What else? So yeah, if you want to support the channel, become a member. I think we're up to 22 members. I want to get us up to 30 members by the end of the year. Hopefully it'll get there. If you want to become a member, I appreciate the support. I think it's ridiculous value, to be honest with you. And not only you will get the the members only lives, you will get a free T-shirt out of it. I mean, so you're actually on profit. Even if you're a member for 1 month, it's a $30 item. You're getting it for $10. But I think the $10 you're paying for what you're getting out of it is stupid value. Because I do check other channels, what they're doing with their members, what they get like a extra video. Who gives a shit, right? But you have access to me, obviously. So anyway, if you're a member, you didn't get your T-shirt, email me, Sergio@sergioavedian.com. If you want to become a member, email me your T-shirt size and your physical address, Sergio@sergioavedian.com. So what's happening this week? This week, let's see the calendar. So you can all pull this out. I pull it out every week. I pull it a condensed version. You can go to Fred. Fred is Federal Reserve Economic Data. There is a ton every day that comes out. Most of it is inconsequential or not important to the markets. I just pay more attention to what's important for fundamentally. Okay. So Monday today, Fed consumer inflation expectations. They came out. That was average. Inflation is not going down to their target level. They have Fed's target levels is 2% inflation, full employment. Okay, 2% inflation is not happening. So what they did is they started cutting rates actually way before they got to the target. We're at running at 3%. So them cutting the rates may accelerate inflation again. We'll find out. But the Fed meeting is coming up actually on the 18th. The betting markets are saying that the Fed's going to cut the rates another 25 basis points. So they cut it 50 basis points, a couple of months ago. They cut it 25 basis points in November. They may cut it again, 25 basis points in December. That's 100 basis points. That's a full percentage point, right? Why are they cutting the rates? Everything is great, right? Why are they cutting the rates? And why are they cutting rates when before inflation gets to their target level? I don't know. That may accelerate that, inflation back up. That may be a killer for the market, but time will tell. On Wednesday, OPEC monthly report. OPEC meaning Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. The Middle Eastern countries, Saudi Arabia being the largest one. Now we have two important CPI, PPI numbers. CPI is Consumer Price Index. PPI is Producer Price Index. PPI for me is actually more important because it starts there. Inflation starts there at the production level, and then it gets passed on to you as a consumer. So November CPI inflation data is coming out on Wednesday. And on Thursday, November Producer Price Index is coming out. So Fed's definitely going to watch that. I don't think they're going to change their mind about cutting rates or not, but I think that's what's going to happen. That's the last two of the year. Okay. And on Thursday, initial jobless claims is going to come out. I mean, there's a lot, those are all important data points for the Fed to watch. And so we'll see. And next Wednesday, 18th, is the day they will decide to cut or not cut and come up with why they're cutting and why they're not cutting. Why are they cutting rates? Right? Fed never cuts rates if economy is doing great. Fed only cuts rates when they see a slowdown ahead. So I did a couple of videos last week, which will come out this week, hopefully, is they're trying to manage something called soft landing. If you look at the history of the Fed, I think they have managed one. They have attempted 6 or 7. It's very difficult what they're doing. It really is. I mean, think about the size of the economy and, so many moving parts in the economy. We have a new administration coming in, a lot of moving parts. I mean, it's going to be very difficult for them to manage a soft landing. But they're cutting rates. So they're cutting rates is good for the consumer. As we all know, how the banks and mortgages and car loans, and they're all dependent on interest rates, what the Fed does, right? But what they do though, right? They jack up the rates when the rates were zero. You were not getting zero APR interest. I mean, on your credit card specifically, or mortgages. Then they raised it to 5%, and we know what happened to mortgages. 30-year mortgages went up to 7.5. Now I think they're back under 7 again, which is good, because it may, I mean, the housing market is absolutely dead. When I say dead, not the prices. Prices are still going up, but on houses, affordability index is completely dead. I mean, it's in the trash can. And biggest part of the home affordability index is interest rates, mortgage rates, right? So your monthly payment. And, from 3.5 to 7.5 is a huge move. So that may help that. But we'll see. We'll see where what the Fed is going to do. So I want to say good morning to some of you. Mojotronics, good morning. Hopefully you still have your Baba. Vic, good morning. Techie B, good morning. Edward Lee, good morning. Good morning to all the members. Craig, good morning. Luis M, good morning, good afternoon. Okay. How do you do, fellow kids? Good. MRDSN. What's happening? So let's talk a little bit about hey, what's up? Keeping it real with Dom K. Okay, cool, excellent. Yeah, you guys always can watch the replay too. So as I said, I think there are like more of you here now. Good for you, Mojotronics. Finally, you caught a bone. My thoughts on, okay, I will answer all the questions later. XPR. What is XPR? Is XPR a stock? I don't know. When I sound aloof about certain things, I'm not. I trade what I is that a shitcoin? Yeah, looks like it. I mean, look, I'm not trying to make fun of it. Altcoins, shitcoins, I only pay attention to one. And we're going to talk about that now. Bitcoin, right? Okay. So Michael Saylor every weekend buys more Bitcoin. He's issued more shares and bought more Bitcoin. My most popular video actually is the last one that came out. Please go check it out. So here's the deal. I put out a lot of good content about MicroStrategy. I tweeted a couple of them out. I got some flack from Permables saying that, oh my God, Bitcoin is this. Okay, listen, man, listen. Bitcoin is not to be traded, period. Do not trade Bitcoin. You're going to get nailed both ways. All the other ones, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, Ethereum, Lightning Network, Solana, I know about them, but I have like 10,000 stocks at my disposal. New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, Amex, all that stuff, live. I don't need more, but I am a true believer in Bitcoin. Why? Because it's finite, because not more can be made that I know of, hasn't been hacked. Actually, I have a good video coming out, I think either tomorrow or the next day, comparing, Bitcoin to other crypto, to gold, to fiat currency. Those are the hard assets, right? Look at all the hard assets. Stock market, all-time high. Real estate, all-time high. Gold, all-time high. Close to an all-time high. Bitcoin, close to an all-time high. Why? Because of what the government's doing. Government's debasing the currency. You're losing 6-7% of your dollar's value every single year. Don't listen to them gaslighting you about, inflation is 2%. It's not. It's not. So that's why I'm a huge believer in Bitcoin. I've been a huge believer in Bitcoin for a long time, way before I even started the channel. Now it's about 10% actually, because the price has gone up. Of my total assets is in Bitcoin. I will never sell it. I will never trade it. Now, what do I trade? Well, I trade the proxies of Bitcoin. Well, what is the major proxy of Bitcoin? MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor. He's become the Michael Jordan of Bitcoin now. I'm like, great, wonderful. He's brilliant. I'm not saying he's not. I put out a video that did well. Is he a gambler or is he a genius? I think he's a genius. I think he figured out the immaculate money glitch on Wall Street. It is really difficult to find money glitches on Wall Street. I think this guy found it. How is he doing it? Well, you just go listen to the content, but I'll talk a little bit about it. So Bitcoin is 100,000. Well, 97,000, I think. I don't know. I think it was like over 100, now it's down. It's just going back and forth between 95 and 100. And MSTR, MicroStrategy, is completely a proxy of Bitcoin. There's no ifs, there's no buts. I mean, I think that's the best performing stock on Wall Street this year, above and beyond NVIDIA, if you believe it or not. Okay, so what is Michael Saylor doing? Michael Saylor is taking in money by issuing two things: at the market equity sales, which he did again this weekend, meaning selling shares of his company. He's converting those shares into fiat currency by selling shares and immediately buying Bitcoin on a cash basis. So that's one. The second thing he's doing is, actually, there's a video coming out on that too this week about convertible bonds. If you don't know and never heard of convertible bonds, don't fear. I explained it in that video. It's a huge market. It's a $7-8 trillion market. Corporate bond market is 100 trillion. Convertible bond market or note market is 7-8 trillion with a T. So what else is he doing? He's issuing convertible bonds with zero interest rates. There are institutions throwing him $3-4 billion at a time. These are institutions. These are not like your mom and pop throwing him money. These are institutions who are brilliant people, supposedly, MBAs, and they're all knowledgeable, giving him money. And what is he doing with that money? He's paying zero interest and going buying immediately Bitcoin, which he did last week, 3 billion. They're all oversubscribed. Why is this happening? So is he the only one buying Bitcoin? And a lot of you are going to say, well, why isn't Bitcoin 200,000? Well, give it time. Okay, it's only 12 years. Bitcoin is the best performing asset on the planet in the last 12 years, 140% a year. It could be in the S&P 500 ETF for, I don't know, every year that you'll get 10-11%. Luckily, if you've been DCAing dollar cost averaging last 2 years, you got 25% each year, which is ridiculous. That's not the average. So, and I mean, Bitcoin, MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor have figured this money glitch out. He's going to keep doing this. He said he's going to do it for up to $42 billion. That's on the last earnings report. He's done 10 already. And that $42 billion plan was a 3-year plan. He's 10 in less than 3 months. That $42 billion is going to be spent. Why is he doing it? Is he front running the U.S. government? Is the U.S. government going to come and put 1 million Bitcoin in the treasury? People, there's 21 million of this. Okay, MicroStrategy as of today owns 2% of the total outstanding Bitcoin. And he's going to get up to 4% if he buys that 42 billion. So what is he doing? He's buying it at any price, literally. Up, down, sideways, doesn't matter. And he's been doing it since 2020. This is not like yesterday's news, okay? But now it's become super fashionable because Bitcoin broke 100,000, 6 figures, everybody's into it. Bitcoin is not a trading asset. Well, however, MicroStrategy is. As if MicroStrategy is not volatile enough, they created these ETFs on MicroStrategy that move off of MicroStrategy at a 2x level, 2 times MicroStrategy volatility. So Michael Saylor has figured out a way to create an asset for institutions to participate in the Bitcoin market who are not allowed to participate in the Bitcoin market. Okay, all the institutions that are buying these convertibles and lending him money at zero interest rates. Zero. The last one was zero, right? So what are they betting on? They're betting on Bitcoin to be 200,000, 300,000, 500,000. Well, let's do the math. Bitcoin right now is about 380. And I talked about the MNAV, like multiplier and net asset value on Bitcoin. As of today, Bitcoin is, let's say, 100K. And MicroStrategy owns 410,000 Bitcoin. That's about $41 billion. Okay. The company itself is not worth anything. I mean, it's worth 5 billion, 8 billion, 10 billion to be generous. Okay, that's the enterprise value of MicroStrategy. Okay, so that's 50 billion. Well, MicroStrategy today is at 380. Now you guys have to really dig deep and understand how many shares are outstanding, because every week, they're offering shares. They're diluting existing shareholders. There is a downside to this. I mean, a lot of people go like, oh, it's going to be 500. It's going to be 5,000. I'm like, no, you guys got to think of the downside. What is the downside? Well, I have figured out my own infinite money glitch. Although the implied volatility is kind of shrinking, people are catching up to it. Maybe I should have kept it for myself, but not the point. The point is, Michael Saylor is going to issue convertibles and issue shares and keep buying Bitcoin. Period. That's what he wants to do. And I agree with him because of what the government's doing. As long as the government's printing, which they are, as long as the federal national debt keeps going higher, which it is every 100 days by $1 trillion. We just broke 36. We're going to be at 37 in 95 more days. That's it. That's how you protect yourself. Or you go buy hard assets, right? I interviewed this gentleman. He said something that you all should keep in mind. Don't slave harder for your W-2 and paycheck, which is shrinking every month, every year, because they're not paying you 7 to 10% more every year to keep pace with inflation. You got to save in hard assets. Is there a surprise that all housing prices are at all-time highs? Stock market's all-time highs. Gold is at all-time. Silver, Bitcoin, all these other coins. I mean, Dogecoin, right? That thing is like gone up 4x. XRP, right? Look, you don't have to be in Bitcoin, but I believe in Bitcoin because it's the only one that cannot be made more of. All the other ones, they can be made more of. So comparing to fiat currency, which is the same thing, they keep making more of it. And that's the problem. And Michael Saylor saw this. He's converting his company into a Bitcoin treasury asset, literally. And institutions are throwing him money by the billions, and he's going and buying Bitcoin. Because if somebody gave me a loan at 0 interest rates, and I say, okay, I'm going to go buy Bitcoin, and I do it over and over and over, that's what he's doing. Now, he's not the only one. Other companies are coming around. In fact, Marathon Digital, which is a Bitcoin miner, they're doing it. They just issued $1 billion in 0% convertible notes. So the market's expanding. A lot of other corporations are coming in. Michael Saylor did a presentation in front of Microsoft board. Microsoft has $85 billion in cash sitting. What if Microsoft says, okay, I'm going to put 10% of my treasury cash into Bitcoin? There goes Bitcoin to 200,000. What if Apple says it? What if Google says it? I mean, look, this is catching fire. So what is he doing? He's preempting all of this because he knows what's coming, right? And he's just going and plopping the money into Bitcoin. Now, what's the downside? There is no free meal. That's the headline of the last piece of video I put out. There's no free meals on Wall Street. Well, luckily, what they did is I'm not going to trade Bitcoin at all. I'm just going to keep it in my ledger, cold wallet. If I buy more, which I will shortly, and I'm not waiting for a pullback. I just want to finish the year and then, what I'm going to basically do. So this year, I'm up close to 180%, probably 200% by the end of the year on my trading account. I'm going to take 25% of those profits and plop it into Bitcoin. That's what I'm going to do. Because at the start of every year, I start with a certain amount, and then I analyze, and then I redistribute what I need to do, and cash goes here, cash goes there, put my taxes away, and then I'm going to buy more Bitcoin. I mean, I don't see the end of debasing the currency. I don't see the end of government printing. I just don't see it. And I trust it, and I'm going to do it. And I want to buy it on an exchange and immediately take custody of it, put it in my cold wallet, add it to my ledger, and that's it. That's Ledger is the name of the cold wallet, by the way. And so that's what I'm going to do. I mean, it's simple. I don't make it complicated, right? Keep it simple, stupid. But what I'm doing is the volatility that Michael Saylor has created through MicroStrategy and the surrogates of MicroStrategy, which is the 2x ETFs, MSTX and MSTU, specifically MSTX I'm in, is creating wonderful trading opportunities, specifically in selling premium on the derivatives. And as long as that continues, I'm going to just go back to the well, wash, rinse, repeat. Okay. I'll give, when I'm at the position screen, I'll give you guys more in-depth explanation of what I'm doing, but most of you already know, because I post my positions, by the way, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the community page of the YouTube channel. Go to the community page. I'm not hiding anything. I'm as transparent as anything. I mean, my positions are there. My losers are there. My winners are there. I think so far I have done well with you all. I think my winners to losers is probably like, I don't know, 5-1, 8-1. Pretty good. But it's not the point. The point is not having winners and losers. It's how long you keep your winners and how fast you get rid of your losers. And I think it's been a good year. Again, the market keeps making all-time highs, and anybody can make money. You can throw a dart and make money in this type of market. But what I want you to all to understand is this is not the norm. Okay, it doesn't work out this way. There is always a rug pull. There is always a downside. There is always an unexpected black swan event, potentially. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if it does happen, you need to be prepared. And, this buy dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip ends at some point. Is it going to end tomorrow? I don't know. Is it going to end next year? I don't know. But when it does end, I'm prepared I have a strategy. I have a plan, right? The 3 Ps, patience, position, and planning. I definitely have that plan ready. And you always have to be watching out because things walk up the stairs, right? And then they take the express elevator down. And that's what's going to happen. But when it does happen, I want you to be all prepared. How do we make money on the downside? Because we can make money on the downside faster than we can make money on the upside, without a question. And, channel is new. You guys know me from the other channel, I'm pretty sure, but I've been doing this longer than anything else. So I've seen everything. I've seen the bear markets. The problem, again, with a lot of people these days is they have never seen a bear market. I've seen 5. So those are painful. That's when you blow accounts. And but hopefully, if you're listening, I will prevent that for you. I will, you will avoid blowing accounts. You will not become bag holders because look, I don't care. Whatever happens, I short the market or I short equities or I buy puts as fast as anybody else if I see it there. So yeah, with that said, let's answer some questions. All right. What's up? Listening. Held Baba, good for you. Any thoughts on XPR? No thoughts on XPR. Bitcoin is supposedly going to be worth 10K October. 10K? Okay. Good. I'll buy it some more. Like this is the type of stuff I laugh at. Not making fun. I mean, all I'm saying is who said that and what's their reasoning? I don't know. Okay. If it's 10K, okay, well, let's do that downside math. All right. So if it's 10K, MicroStrategy has 400,000 Bitcoin. That'll be 4 billion. Let's put a 2x MNAV on it. That's 8 billion. Am I doing that math correctly? I think I am. 8 billion. Okay, 2x MNAV. Right now, MicroStrategy is at 90 billion. Wow, that's a long way to go, isn't it? So MicroStrategy, you're saying, will be like $35 a share? Okay. And then the surrogates will be like 0 or $1 a share, MSTX. I should sell it. My cost is $89.25. Holy crap. Now I'm nervous. No. Lynn is here enjoying her Dogecoin profits. Have I checked IBIT? Yes, I have quite often talked about IBIT. And IBIT is the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF. Okay, there's a few, right? IBIT is the biggest one. And IBIT's 2x ETF is BITX, Lewis. So I've been talking about these forever. And yeah, if you want true movement with Bitcoin up and down, percentage by percentage, you don't want the volatility. You don't like the volatility. You get nauseous. I get it. Do IBIT. If you want a little bit more speed, action, do BITX, because BITX is 2x of IBIT. By the way, there's also the bearish ones of these, so you guys know, right? If you think, keeping it real with Dom, Bitcoin is going to 10K, you should be buying the, I'll give you guys the symbols. You should be buying the bearish 2x versions of MSTR ETFs. Because they're like $1. I think one is $1, one is like 5. One is, I think, SMST. The other one is, I think, MSTZ. But I'll show you guys the charts. Then, yeah, buy those. Then those will go up 300%. Yes, congrats, Barcelona. Absolutely. We're having a little difficulty, but it's okay. So if you have any questions, stocks, equities, again, this is not financial advice, trading advice, but I will do my best. You thinking it won't go? Okay, let's see. Mojotronic says, you thinking it won't get up? You know my mistake on MSTU. Yes, I do. Thinking it won't get back to 257 anytime soon. Yes. I don't know what that means. Typos, a lot of typos. I don't know. You're typing on your iPhone. That did not make any sense. Okay, so what else is going on? So I gave you guys the calendar. So sorry to the members. I'm not going to be here on Wednesday for the members only. I'm going to be actually on a plane at 5:30 in the morning to Tampa, Florida. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to deal with LAX, my favorite airport. And there are not too many flights that go to Tampa without a connection. So I'm going to connect at Houston. It's all day travel, basically, and Thursdays. So please check out tomorrow, Show Me the Money on the other channel. I'll give you guys all the details. If you're in Florida, if you're specifically Tampa, we have a meet and greet event. I'll be there. Please show up, say hello. Let's take a picture. Let's talk some shop. You'll have some drinks, some food. It's at a place called the Riveters in Tampa, Florida. If you're in Tampa, please stop by and say hello. What else? I think that's about it. So let's go to, if you have any questions, please put it up. I'll answer it at the end. All right, let's go to the trading screen. This is my position screen. No lies. Full transparency. Anyway, so I put this up every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with a disclaimer. If you follow me, don't tag along. I don't care. Tag along. Again, it's not financial or trading advice, but I do get in and out of things quickly. I don't want you to get nailed. If you get nailed, you're on your own, because by the time I get in and out, you're still in. Sorry, can't help you there. But let's do it. How do we do this again? Okay, you guys can see the screen. Yes, you can. No. Okay, so where are we? We are okay, so my positions to start with. Okay. I have 13,500 shares of HOWL. As you guys can see, there is minus 110 here. I sold more calls this morning, covered call strategies. Actually, it's outperforming today, to my surprise, when the market's down. Not down a lot, but down a little bit. Stocks 190. I sold cover calls last month. I sold them again this month. I'm going to sell them again in January. You guys know what the story is. So I bought 4,000 shares of UMAC. This is very volatile. I got down to 808, high is 10. 20% range every day. This is just a trade for me. If it works out, great. If it doesn't work out, I'm out of there. But it was a $24 number, came down to 8. I think it's reasonable. Maybe we'll get up to 12 to 15. Hopefully, if we do, then I'm out of there. I bought some puts in the morning, added to it, trimmed them, waiting for it. I have 25 of the December 600 puts expiring in 2 weeks. Here's an outperformer. I love days like this when the market's kind of down and everything you own is green or outperforming. I said I have started a long position on PLL, Piedmont Lithium, in my long-term portfolio. I have some 10 cent options, no big deal. in their 20s, December 20 $20 strikes. I paid like nothing for it, and it's my lotto ticket. If the stock moves over 15, actually stock goes over 14 and a half, I'm going to establish a full position in my long-term portfolio. I think that's a double, easy double. And let's see. And here's the position, MSTX. I'm still long, 200 shares. I was put this, as you guys can see, the cost is $89.25. So last week I sold the December 1 calls at $10. So those expire worthless. And I had sold the December 100 calls at $15. Those expire worthless. So my cost is what now? Think about it. $89.25, right? Minus 12 and a half. My cost is 77 range. This morning, as you guys can see with the -1, I sold one. I'm waiting for the rest. I have it for sale at 8.5. I sold one right at the open. One of this week, Friday's expiration, 97 calls at 12.5. And I'm trying to sell one more of those at 8.5. So taking another $10. So if the stock is under 97, they will expire worthless. Stock right now is 92 and change, 93. If they expire worthless, then my cost at the end of this week on this will be 67. And then next week, I'll wash, rinse, repeat. I have basically made MSDX, the one I trade, with the weekly options. I will sell puts. If it gets down to 85, I'll sell some puts as well, because I want to own more shares of MSTX and keep selling calls. And, I have, I don't know, 70, 80%. Well, not 80, but about 65 today percent of the account sitting in cash. Just, use the SMA or special miscellaneous account part of it, or equity, to sell puts and calls, because the premium is ridiculous. And the IV used to be in the 240s. Now they took it down to 220. I think they're catching up to it, saying that, wait a minute, implied volatility is too high. So this morning I sold those calls to somebody at 12.5. They're down to 7 already. They're melting the premium on these things, but it's okay. I will sell some puts if it gets to 85, meaning MicroStrategy gets to about 360 to 65. This will be 85, and I will sell some 85 puts or 80 puts and take in some money. I want to get put more. I want to get assigned more, so I can turn around and sell calls. So simple math here, okay? The stock stayed between 95 and 100 or whatever, went up and down, but ultimately those puts I got assigned, and cost on the stock is 89.25. Okay, I took in 12.5 on the calls, weekly calls. They expire worthless. So 89.25 minus 12.5, or let's say my cost is 77. This week I sold them again at 12.5. Hopefully another one I'll sell at 8.5. That'll be an average of 10. My cost will be 67. Okay, I'm basically turning these 200 shares into a money machine. At some point, it'll be over 97, I'm pretty sure. And it'll get taken away. Great. Okay. No problem. If you take it away at 97 and my cost is 67, that's $30 I took in on $100 stock. That's 30% in 2 weeks. And I'm going to keep doing this every week. Every week, I'm going to keep selling calls every week without a question. Okay. So those are my positions. Pretty self-explanatory. At the end of the day, they will be on the community page of the YouTube channel. Let's look at some charts. There are some interesting charts. Actually, I'm trying to buy something, and I don't think I have bought it yet because I didn't get the think or swim signal. Yeah. Okay. So let's go through some charts. If you guys have any ideas, please put them in the chat and we'll look at it. Okay, so this is the UMAC. This is so stock went from like $3 to $24, massive squeeze, volume drying out, kind of come down. I have another order to buy another 500 shares, so I bought 4,000 shares so far, but I have another order at 760, and that's exactly on top of the 20 EMA. This is the yellow line right here. If it gets there, it gets there, but it looks like it's trying to reverse. If it does put a reversal in, I think we may get up to the upper band, which is about 15.5, 16. I will not wait until that, but I will definitely, don't mind making 3-4 points on it. And these are volatile stocks. Nobody knows what's going to happen. They're momentum stocks. They're the high frequency algo trading stocks. The catalyst on this one was that Donald Trump Jr. was made a board member, and this is a drone company, and supposedly the administration is going to use their drones to protect the borders, or when the deportations are happening, they're going to use them. I don't know if it's true or not. I really don't care. I'm just trading. This is not a long-term buy and hold kind of a thing, but at this price, I thought it was a reasonable risk-reward trade, so I put it on. Let's go through spiders. This is the S&P 500. Nothing. I mean, new highs, just pulling back a little bit. Big effing deal. 20 EMA is not even close. It's like under 600. So I have the 600 puts for a couple of weeks out. Why do I do that? I buy puts on my trading account to hedge my long-term portfolio, actually. So if there are gains, great, I keep the gains. If there are losses, great, I keep the losses. It keeps my tax situation under control. Apple, that's not the symbol surge. Apple, new high. We talked about this. Okay, go back to power hours. Here's your wedge that it broke out of, long-term wedge. Made an all-time high about 238. We're at 246. I can see this getting about 260 range. I'm going to go actually through pretty much my whole list today because I'm not going to be here Wednesday or Friday. This is Archer Aviation. This is another drone company. Well, this is the human drone company. They have the EV tolls coming out. They're testing it actually in Saudi Arabia. Had a beautiful move, pullback, a decent pullback too. I mean, this thing hit almost 10, pullback to 6 and change, low sixes. I think somebody had asked me this, where do you buy it? I bought it 20 EMA. It didn't get to 20 EMA, and then it bounced. Now this is going to probably go retest the low about 6, go sideways. And then next leg will come when the 50 EMA catches up, which is a 511. I just cannot catch a break on my breakouts these days. This is AI. We talked about this on the breakout day. Earnings, I mean, this wasn't the earnings, it was a catalyst, which was Microsoft is going to use their software on their servers. And sure enough, there you go. That was the breakout about 30. I'm going like, okay, well, we're at literally in like less than 10 days, we're at 43. It just keeps going up every day. He gave me a little bit of a chance here, pulling back from 30 to 40 to 36. Really nothing. It shows the strength and making new highs. Buy on dip for sure. Definitely should be on your watch list. Another lithium stock, a much bigger one, Albemarle. It's breaking out today finally. I will buy a starter position on ALB with a stop at 101. It's about 109. It's breaking above its 200 EMA. Albemarle, by the way, 3 years ago on a 3-year basis. This is just coming off its butt, actually. It was a $330 number. I do like lithium stocks. Breaking the downtrend, going above the 200. Definitely deserves a starter position. So ALB is the symbol on that. You guys will... that's going to be my next starter position. ASTS is definitely something I'm looking to buy. AST Space Mobile. It's in a good group. I have it like, so as I said, on my long-term portfolio, I have 3 stocks. I replaced all my Carvana, Baba, Kava, all those things I've been talking about for 4 or 5 months since I started the channel. Those turned into 4 or 5 baggers, really, in a year and few months. So now you got to find replacement. You can't just sit in cash. Cash is losing value. This is AST Space Mobile. I did trade this quite actively when it was taking its parabolic moves. Now, patiently going sideways. I'm definitely going to look into starting a position on that. So if you look at the groups that I'm looking at, okay, ELF is a cosmetics company, which I'll show the chart in a minute. PLL, Piedmont Lithium, is a lithium company, obviously. And Unity software company. So pretty diverse. Like when I'm trying to establish positions in my long-term portfolio, I don't put all the eggs in one group, right? So I find groups that are outperforming and go into those groups. And that's what you guys need to do as well. So ASD Space Mobile will be another one, right? I haven't done it yet. That's why I didn't buy Albemarle, because I'm going into PLL, Piedmont Lithium. So I don't want to have two of the same stocks or two of the same group stocks in there. So I rather spread it around. But when you guys look at long-term portfolios, you need to be a little bit more diversified, but you can still find totally outperforming stocks, and which you should. Avago, beautiful chart, really. The best probably chip stock out there, out of all of them. And today we had news over the weekend that China is going to do more pumping, basically easing, and they all gapped up. So there's Alibaba. I was long Alibaba. If you guys long, in the mid 70s, sold it in the 108 to 110 range, then went to 120-ish or 117, pulled back all the way to 85. Been talking about it. I'm like, okay. So now we're taking a move, leg up. Okay, so how do you trade this? Well, this is how you trade this. Either you buy the equities or you sell puts. Okay, so I will most likely start selling puts on all of these. Alibaba, BILI, JD.com. BILI is Bilibili, another Chinese stock. Look, I mean, I like these charts, right? Do I this time around, I don't think I'm going to buy equity. I think I'm just going to sell puts, sell premium, just collect premium, and keep selling puts on pullbacks. And if they do assign me, put it to me, great. Then I'll buy them. But at the moment, no. Baidu, I'm just giving you the Chinese names, okay? Baidu underperforming. So if I was going to do anything, Billy is a really good looking chart. JD is a really good looking chart. JD.com. Look, I don't see anything wrong with these charts. I mean, seriously. And PDD is the parent of Temu, whatever you guys want to call it. So my three most favorite, obviously, is Baba, JD.com, and Bilibili, BILI. So let's, I'm just going alphabetically actually now. BITX is the 2X Bitcoin strategy ETF. So this moves off of IBIT. So this is IBIT. That moves penny for penny with Bitcoin. I don't see anything wrong with any of this. It just gives them, just a little correction here and there, but higher highs, higher lows. I don't know. What is there to say? So one of my favorites was Kava last year. Kind of breaking down. I'm hoping more of a pullback. I sold this perfectly. I mean, that the last earnings report, you could tell that was the kind of at the top, put in the key reversal day. I ate there about last May, a year and 4 months ago. It was $30. I bought it and I rode it in year and 4 months to like 160. Okay, that's a 5x. These are possible, people. You just gotta find it and be patient with it. Okay. Down 15 today. I don't know what the news is. Let me check on Chipotle. Chipotle is nothing, but so Kava on pullbacks. I still like it. I hope to God it pulls back to 200 EMA, 105. I'll be all over it, or sell puts again. So let's take a look at Celsius. Somebody asked me about this. Yeah, it's a dog. No need. CLSK is another Bitcoin miner. My favorite Bitcoin miner at the moment is Mara, M-A-R-A, Marathon Digital. They're doing the same thing in micro. So they have about 37 or 38,000 Bitcoin in their treasury because they're a miner. Not only they're constantly mining, but they started doing what MicroStrategy is doing and Michael Saylor is doing. They issued two pieces. They issued $1 billion zero convertible and just issued another 800 million. So that's another reason the premium is coming down. I will look into the premium, what MNAV is on Mara, and let you all know. If it's as high as MicroStrategy, I'm not interested. But then there is a low and high range for these for MNAV on these. MNAV meaning net asset value multiplier. I have a full position on ELF, breaking out at 200 EMA. Beautiful. I mean, I will add to it on pullbacks, but I have a full position already, so no need to push. So those are the three stocks: ELF, PLL, and U are the symbols. Let's take a look at my dog Howl. 191, up 11 cents on a. It's not bad. I mean, I'm going to keep selling calls. And then December 2.5s I sold already. If they expire worthless, I'll sell January 2.5s. JD.com, beautiful, right? It really never well, it did pull back almost to the 200 EMA. Look, Chinese stocks gap a lot because these are the ADRs they trade, but they trade off of what's happening there. Oh, hold on a second. Finally, is this really breaking out? Is the volume any good? All right. So for all low pricers, here's one. It's called A Inc. What they do is they do LiDARs, those spinny things on top of Waymos. LIDR is the symbol. Let me look at the 2-minute chart on this. Yeah, volume is not there. Don't get stuck with this. This was like a dollar number, $1.20, $1.30. Although, if you look at the 1-year, 1-day chart on this, it had this like crazy move about May of last year. It went from $1 to about $5. And then it died, usually all the way down to 78 cents. Be careful with these dollar stocks, okay, people? Lyft. Lyft is definitely doing better, outperforming actually Uber for the last couple of months. Yeah, I came right at the 50-day. Not interested really. Mara, right? That's the one. I do like that. It's on its 20 EMA. High 30, about 24 now. Yeah, I'll be interested. I'll sell puts on this too. I'll sell probably 22.5 puts. If I get assigned, I get assigned. Not nervous about it at all. Microsoft. Yeah, kind of breaking out now, but about 440. This is the only one. There are some couple of Mag 7 stocks that are not doing as well as the other ones. Amazon is doing great. Netflix is doing great. Tesla obviously is doing great. So let's take a look at MSTR. I mean, it's going sideways, kind of right on top of the 20 EMA. You can't really, this is moving dollar for dollar with Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin corrects to 90,000, this thing will be like 340 and the surrogates will be lower. So, and this is MSTX. I'm selling puts on these. I want to sell puts if it gets to 85-ish. So remember, 220 down to 110 the same day on this one. Reminder, if you guys think Bitcoin is going down, buy MSTZ. What is MSTZ? MSTZ, look at that thing, right? 17.5 down to $1, right? That's why these ETFs are not to be bought and held. These are 2x daily return tools on MSTX and MSTU. MSTR. So if you had bought this, you'd be crying, right? This is and a lot of stocks have this, by the way. Nvidia has it, Tesla has it. These are the ETFs, 2x ETFs. They're more volatile, more bang for your buck, but you really got to know what you're doing. I'm rotating Micron back into the situation. It's just kind of going sideways. Trading range between 95 and 110, 115 range. Just put it back into rotation, just a watch list. Nvidia not doing well. China is supposed to be investigating them for monopoly or something. Came out on some sort of fundamental news. Nvidia has been underperforming actually the market. Market keeps making new highs. Nvidia is just stuck here. You made a false breakout at 152. Got down to 131. We're down today to 139. MACD, if it goes under 0, I may actually short Nvidia. Yes, I said it, short. I like some of these nuclear stocks because supposedly AI is going to need a lot of it. These are the types of patterns that I like. What is that? Here's OKLO. It's Oklo Inc. They do nuclear stuff. Nuclear. So energy requirement of AI servers and AI centers, server centers is going to be massive. So they become fashionable. Stock went from 10 to 28. Now it's just kind of building this little, I don't know, this looks like a little huge pennant wedge pattern, and volume is kind of drying out. They did a couple of secondaries, so this will be my top pick. It has options on it. It's pretty volatile, people. So instinct moves like 17 to 25 in a matter of 3-4 days. So if you're going to trade it, be careful. But it's definitely on my watch list. Piedmont Lithium, beautiful. I just waiting. If this thing goes above 14 and a half, full position coming in, and you're going to say, well, Serge, if it's going to go there, why aren't you buying it now? Because what if it rolls over and breaks under 10? That's why you buy high, sell higher, instead of buy low, sell high. Please don't forget that. Everybody's favorite, Palantir, massive reversal day today. I think today is definitely a short-term top. Open up 5, down 3. These are the days that put tops into stocks. Again, not saying for good, okay? I'm not bearish. But when a stock has a 10-point range on an $80 stock and with massive volume, you got to watch out. Pull back, definitely buy on dips. So it's still like $8 or 10% above its 20 EMA, and it's literally 55 is 50 EMA. It's 73 is like 30% above its 50 EMA, and it's double 100% above its 200 EMA. Stocks don't do that. That stocks don't grow to the sky like that. So got to be careful with these people. Adding a couple of things to my list. Peloton is on my list. PTON is the symbol. They just won't pull back for me to get in, which is sad. But then it's okay. Reddit is on my list. New high today. See, these are the types of stocks you guys got to find. Just like Kava, just like Carvana. Carvana, kind of rolling over. No, I mean, I'm glad I got out of these. I'm going to pay the ridiculous amount of long-term capital gain taxes, but I'm okay. Let's see. Rivian is, I put it on my, going above the 200-day. I mean, you guys need to pay attention to these, right? Yeah, I know everybody loves Tesla. But Volkswagen made a massive investment in Rivian, about $6 billion. So if you're going to buy any other electric company, this is it. It's breaking above its 200 EMA. Last time it did that, it pulled all the way back to 10 from 18, 14 and a half, and you pull back to 12 and a half. I'm a buyer, or sell puts. Okay. I like selling puts. I like collecting premium with the intent of buying the shares. If your intention is not to own shares, don't sell puts. I mean, you could, but my intent is always sell puts on uptrending stocks. So if I do get assigned, I wanted to buy it anyway, so I bought it cheaper. Simple. Rocket Labs, Indirect Group, ASTS Group. Short-term top put in about 28 and a half. Yeah, I'm definitely a buyer of this too. If it gets down to, it's right on its 20 EMA, I may give it a crack for a trade with some options. 50 EMA, 1667, 17. So we'll see. No rush. Solar Edge, I added to my list. I mean, it's a dead issue, but I have a feeling solar stocks are going to do well, but under is 200, under is 50, under is 60. Just taking a look at it. Forget I mentioned it. Let's see. A stock I've been talking about for a while. If Richie is here, he's happy. Sleep Number. You guys can go back, check all these power hours, right? What I was doing, how I talk about these things. So let's see. Tesla. Tesla having a reversal day today. It almost hit 400. Yep. Another, yeah, 405 actually. It's down to 386. That's definitely a reversal day, but nothing wrong with it, right? I mean, nice looking chart. UMAC, well, I bought, so we'll see. We'll see where that ends up. Hopefully, it'll end up right around 960 to 10. Little gap up action tomorrow at 12 and a half. I'll chuck it. What else? That's about it, really. I mean, I have like 10,000 stocks, so, but I'm just giving you guys. Oh, there's one. What is this one? Rare, not Rare, RR. Rintech Robotics. Rich Tech Robotics. It's on my like mover list, up 18%. What the heck is this thing? No way. It's like $12 down to 50 cents, 30 cents. Talk about manipulation. Holy crap. Let me take a look at this. Ah, that's the 2-minute chart. So I do look at, like, if I want to trade something intraday or over like swing over a couple, 3 days, I look at the 2-minute, 2-day, 10-minute, 10-day, and 60-minute, 30-day charts. So since I did that on UMAC, yeah, UMAC volume came in here. It's kind of dying now. Yeah, I'm not going to add. I have an order at 865. I mean 765. I bought actually 500 more shares at 835. That was kind of the low. And then big volume comes in. This is the HFTs coming in. They're moving up. Now it's on VWAP. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to give it a shot, give it a shot. Let me see the 10-minute, 10-day. Yeah, we need to go over, close over 10. Then I have good news. If you close over 10, I think this is definitely going to get up to like 12, 14 range. And then we'll make some money at the end of the year, and that's it. Yeah, this is the 60-minute, 30-day. Yeah, not bad. We just needed over like 10 close, and then next resistance is about 1088, and next resistance is about 1310, and there's a gap. On this gap fill, I will get out 13 and a half, 14, hopefully. And one other one. Hopefully you guys have some questions, and then I'll answer the questions, and I'll say goodbye and get ready for my trip. Hopefully Tampa weather is decent. Shoot, goddamn hope so. And here's the position screen. Okie dokie. All right, let's see. Let's see what questions we got. All right. Have you checked IBIT? I did. Yes. Well, good question. When do I add it? I add it when I think the trend is completely turning around. So on PLL, it's going to be 14 and a half. On ELF, it was when it went above the 200 EMA. On U, when it went above the 200 EMA. And then full positions will definitely be stronger holds if 50 EMA is crossing above the 200 EMA. You can wait for that. I mean, you can wait for those crosses, and then you know you're in an uptrend for a while. And then you put your trailing stops and go with it. Edward Lee, I love your strategy. Yeah, it's an ATM, bro. Yes. I agree with everything you're saying. Sure. Lower price, lower requirements. Okay. Unity Software. It's $20 stock. Let's see. You know what? Good question, actually. Really good question. Okay, let me answer this one too. You think it's worth yeah, probably. I don't, the spread, I looked at the calls, the spread is like so wide on those that it kind of scares me. Let me take a look at that. Let's take a look. PLL calls, January calls. Yeah, I looked at them this morning, actually. January 15th, let's say. Yeah, see, 10 bid, 90 offer. How do you? I don't know. Definitely don't pay 90. Okay, so on these kind of situations, by the way, I want you guys to run something called Black-Scholes model. Google on. I mean, I have a free one, but they don't offer it any. Sorry, I have a paid one. What it does is it gives you option valuations. What options should be valued at when you put the metrics in. You guys need to pay attention to that. I mean, IV is okay. Like so, average IV on this is about 97. So on this one is 74. I'm assuming at 97, you can probably buy these at 50, 60 cents as opposed to paying 90 cents. Let's look at February's. This is on PLL, by the way. Longer term, the better. Once it breaks out, it's on its way. CP February's are better. A little higher IV, but because it's further, the point I'm trying to make, the bid and ask is reasonable. Well, not super reasonable, but kind of reasonable. 130 bid, 175 offer. I'm pretty sure you can get in at $1.50 in these. Look, when the stock breaks out here, I think it's going to take a quick run to 25. It's a really volatile stock. It's a heavily shorted stock as well. So, yeah, I would look at February, Vic, as opposed to January. Okay, let's look at Unity Software. Did we look at the chart of Unity Software? What stocks can we do that with? Okay. It has to be a stock that you're willing to buy. Okay. That you're willing to hold and buy. That's why I'm doing it. Let's look at Unity Software. Up another 53 cents. Let's look at the chart of that. Beautiful chart on Unity Software. So to answer Richie's question as well, do you see what I'm trying to say here? When the moving averages start crossing each other, full position. Also, when a stock hits a wall 1, 2, 3, 4 times, actually I bought starter position when this day right here when it went above its 20 EMA, and I bought a full position at 23. You're going to say, well, why did you wait that long if you think it's going higher? I really don't care. I'd rather pay higher and then build a little bull flag. Now it's building another bull flag. Now it's on its way. MACD is turning above zero. All these things, you got to put them together, read the tea leaves, and make a judgment call and go full position. Same thing on ELF. Same thing, right? MACD goes above zero. Stock goes above 200 EMA. And 20 EMA crosses 51st. It's coming up now. Same thing, I'm waiting on PLL. Right? It's just kind of going sideways. Once it goes above the 200 EMA, all these moving averages are going to start curling up. And it's right at a very critical moment, actually. Like, MACD is just bouncing off of zero. If it does do that, it's going to be a pretty decent run. So, establishing full positions depends on a lot of things, Rich. It's not just one thing. Technical setup, technical setup, obviously important. The way the chart looks, volume, right? What it is, MACD, moving averages, RSI. I look at pretty much all of it, and then when all the tea leaves or the stars lined up, then I'll just go, okay, this is a full position. Am I right all the time? No. Am I wrong? Yeah, sometimes. All right, so let's look at actually some of the MSTX. So for MSTX is 20%. 10% of the most brokerage houses are 10% of the underlying equity. So 100 shares is $9,000. Less out of the money and less plus the premium. That's the usual equity hold on these stocks. Okay, so on MSTX, let's look at MSTX puts. And then I'll do one on something that I'm willing to buy. And I think Unity probably reasonable. So, okay. This is the MSTX option chain expiring this Friday. Stock is 90 and a half. Okay. So 90 puts are selling for $8. IV on those was like 260 last week. We're down to 220. They're killing premium on these. So 90s are $8. So if I sold those today, now let's just show you guys what kind of requirements it's going to say. Okay, so sell one. Let me sell one just to see if my requirement calculation is correct. Sell one at 10, let's say. So if I sold one of these at 10, that means I'm willing to buy, those are the 90 puts, I'm willing to buy on Friday the stock at 90. It's going to get assigned to me if it's below 90, but I took in $10, so my cost basis is going to be 80. So let me see what, okay, so buying power effect is $8,000. Why? Okay, so 10% of the stock at 90 is 9,000 minus, actually it's lower than what I thought. Yeah, it's $8,000 it's required. So let's look at Unity software. So you want to buy Unity software at 22.5, let's say. Unity software. So this one has weekly options as well, but we're not going to go into there because they're not worth anything. So on stuff that doesn't have weekly options, I usually go a month out. So December 13th, December 20th expiration is regular expiration on these. Let's look at puts. Selling puts on Unity software with the intent to buy it. All right. So Unity software is 28. So let's look at 25s. 25s are 80 cents. Okay. So let's see how much it's going to cost me to sell 5 of these at $1, let's say. So if I sell them at $1, Edward, 25, stock is 28. If it's above 25 by December 20th, these expire worthless. I collect all the premium. So if I sell 5 of these for 500 shares, let's say, I'm going to collect at $1, I'm going to collect $500. Okay. If it's above 25 by even 10 cents, that 500 is mine. How much buying power do I need to do 5? And then we can get down to 1. However, if it's below 25, you're willing to, somebody's going to assign it to you at 25 minus the dollar you took in, then your cost basis is 24. But on uptrending stocks, this is a wonderful way of collecting premium with the intent of buying it. That's what I did on MSTX, and that's what I'm going to sell puts again. Sell a few more puts. My intent originally was to buy 600 shares. I had sold 2 of the 100s, 2 of the 90s, 2 of the 80s. The 100s I had sold for 10 and 10 and 3/4. The 90s I had sold for 8, and the 80s I sold for 7. Well, all those expire worthless except the 100s because it was under 100. I got assigned. All that premium I kept. Then sold the calls last week. All that premium I kept. Selling the calls again this week. If it's below 97, I'm going to keep all that premium. So I make my standing cash work for me. So let's see how much it is to sell 5 of these at $1. All right. Buying power effect, only $1,252. So you can do this with you, but you have to have, when I get back to the front screen, I'll talk to you guys about it. You have to have option level 3 approval in order to do this, and you have to have the equity in your account to do this. So to do 5 of these Unity options, $1,252 I need to do this. Okay, so I'm taking in $500 for the next 10 days, 10 trading days on a hold on my account of 1,252. That's 40%, right? And if it's above 25, that 40% return on 1,252 is mine for 2 weeks alone. Figure out if you analyze it, right? So there's many ways of doing options, and this is one of the ways that I think it's great in a bull market. This is a horrible idea in a bad market. You will keep getting assigned shares after shares. So you don't want to do this. So then what you want to do is you want to sell calls, right? This is the opposite. Naked calls, naked puts. So but on uptrending stocks, like you could have done that on Kava for 1 year and 5 months. You could have done that on Carvana for 1 year and 5 months. You could have done that on Palantir for God knows how long. Just keep selling puts that keep expiring worthless. Put your money to work with the intent of buying it cheaper. Okay, Unity is 28.23. I don't want to pay 28.25, 23. I want to buy it at 24. Well, can you buy it at 24 today at the market? No. But in 2 weeks, if it's below 25, I will have a chance to buy it at 24. There you go. And will I want to buy it at 24? Yeah, because that's on the buy and the dip type of a situation. So to me, you got to make some sense of what you're doing. And to me, that seems very sensible. I think it is. All right. Okay, I answered that one. Hopefully, Edward. Yeah, I mean, we can do it on Unity. Let's say taking like 80. They're 80 cents. I put them at $1 just to see. So you need $150 and level 3 approval if you're on Schwab or Thinkorswim or Ameritrade or whatever. What do you consider full position? Good question. No, it's not how many shares. Shares have nothing to do with it. It's dollars. Full position on my long-term portfolio is not more than 10%. So if I have $1 in there, 10 cents goes into that specific shares. Share-wise, it'll be different. On PLL is a $14 stock. So if it's $1,000, I will be able to full position on that. Okay, if my account is $10,000, 10% is 1,000. $14 is about 500, 600, 700 shares of the stock. That's full position, right? Yeah. And on ELF, $1,000, it's $120 stock, $130 stock. That means it's right. And if I want to put 1,000 shares in there, it's 60 shares. On PLL, I miscalculated. $1,000 divided by 14 is like what is that? 70 shares, right? So it's about dollars, not about shares. But long-term portfolio is 10%. So if I put in 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, always keep some cash and find different groups, right? Don't be all in oil stocks. Don't be all in technology. Don't be all so when I build a portfolio, I'm not doing it to trade. I'm doing it to buy and hold for a while, like I did last year and every year. And my holding period depends on what the stock is doing. If the stock is doing what it's supposed to do, which I think it will, then I'm just going to hold it to a point. I mean, if I get a double, triple out of it, is that my goal? Okay, on PLL, my goal is like 30s. If I get in at 14 in mid 30s, it's a double and a half plus. Okay, I'll take it there. Then it may go to 70. I don't know. That's not my problem. On Palantir, it was the same thing. I sold Palantir in the 50s. I bought it in the 30s. I thought it was too high in the 50s. It hit 80 today. So sometimes I'm impatient too, but then you can never go broke, taking profits. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, spreads are crazy in Big G. What is 70? What does that mean? I don't know. Yeah, 10%. I mean, pure conviction, maybe I'll like if I can't find anything else, I don't want to sit in cash. Okay. I also do these put selling strategies there as well. So if I don't find anything else, or if I think market's at a nosebleed and I think we're going to get a rug pull, I want to protect myself. That's when I buy the puts on my trading account on the indexes to protect my long-term portfolio. So I mean, look, there are so many things that you can do, so many ways you can hedge, and so many different things available to you. Basically, the tools in the toolbox. You have all these tools. Do you know how to use these tools? If you know how to use these tools, by all means, use it. So it starts with the base. Base is analyzed fundamentally, technically. Make sure the rotation is correct, right? Because rotation, look, you're dealing with billions of dollars, hundreds of billions or trillions of dollars of institutional money. If an institution comes and buys PLL, you think they're going to buy it for a single day? No. But they're going to buy it. And every pullback, they're going to be there holding like this, buying it, or ELF, or Carvana last year, or Kava, or Palantir. That's institutional money. It's not my money. It's not my 1,000 shares moving that thing up. It's not my or retail's money moving that up. It's institutions. It's retail money going into mutual funds and coming and buying those stocks, right? So to me, just find trends just trend, whatever, like ABC, XYZ, I don't care. Fundamentals matter, of course. You just want to make sure that it's a turnaround story, right? There's a good catalyst like you had with Upstart and Affirm, good earnings report. This one good earnings report is an indicator of 2, 3, 4 coming up. That's what happens, right? Or find stocks like Kava that were in their growth phase. They're expanding, opening stores. Earnings are going to be good, right? So you're not worried too much fundamentally. And now technically it's supportive, and you just let it go. You just got to let it go. You can't just go, oh, we went up 10% today. I'm not, no. Short trading stock account for sure. Yeah, no question. All right. Any other questions? No questions? Come on now. Don't be shy. All right. So I'm not going to be here Wednesday. Sorry, members. Please don't blow your account until I get back next Wednesday. If you're interested in becoming a member, click that button, become a member. Send me your email. I'll send you a free t-shirt. This one I'm wearing. Yeah, I'm just gonna, it's been a great year. I'm just gonna hopefully, finish it strong. If you're all gonna jump on UMAC, like because I did, buyer beware, I may be out of that today. So if you don't see it at the end of the day in the screenshot, don't cuss at me. Those are like super speculative. If I make a couple of bucks, great. I'm really leery and wary of these stocks that go from 2 to 25 and then pull back to 8. Even for me, that's too much volatility. Plus, that thing doesn't have options either. So I'm like really careful with those. What else? That's it. I think I shot my wad. Any other questions? No? All right. So please support the channel. Please put a thumbs up. Please share. I hope all of you have a great week. And I will be back next Monday. I won't be here on Wednesday or Friday. And but still, check the channel out. Subscribe. Turn on notifications. Thank you. Safe travels. Thank you. Thank you. Should be interesting. So please come to the other channel when I announce it or tweet. I'll tweet it in a minute, in half an hour, what I'm doing. Look, I think both the incumbents in our industry on the other channel need competition. And competition is a good thing. Competition for the rider is a good thing. Competition for the driver is a good thing, especially if the competition can offer better rates for the riders and better fares for the drivers. And I don't back people up that I don't believe. So InDrive is a company that I believe they have the pockets to compete, and I'm going to do my best to help them to compete. And we need more choices, more tools for the riders, and we need more tools for the drivers. And InDrive is one. And they chose Florida to start, but they're going to expand shortly. And I don't know if I'm going to be traveling everywhere, but they asked me, they go like, why don't you show up and talk to some drivers? I'm like, no problem. And I'm all for it, man. Competition is a good thing. And, this company has the deep pockets to compete. So, because most of the startups in the industry, they die because why? You can get all the drivers, but you can't get the riders. Well, InDrive is a different animal, and they have a completely different business model. Completely different. So hopefully it'll come to a city nearby. And thank you. I will see you guys next Monday. Keep it together, people. Don't blow anything until I get back. Well, don't blow anything, period. Forget getting back. Yeah, they are. They are. Actually, they're the second most downloaded rideshare app in the globe. They're in like, I don't know, 120 countries already. And they're taking a shot at the US. US is not the world, but hopefully, hopefully we're going to make him a success. I don't know. I mean, I know the business well. When in SF, California, I think is going to be their last stop. But I mean, I know where they're going next. I can't say it, but we'll announce it. So far they're in Miami. They're in Orlando. They're in Tampa as of this week. They soft launch Indianapolis. There's more to come. Yeah, California is tough, bro. Just tough. Every which way. Just tough. Insurance is tough. Just tough for rideshare. I don't even think Uber and Lyft are making money in California, honestly. But I don't know. We'll talk about that on the other channel. So with that said, much love. Thank you for the support. Thumbs up. Please share. It's good stuff. Yeah. Forget about ratings. Ratings are not important. It's what you've done for me lately. It's like I'm as good as my last trade. That's why ratings are about. So so see you all next Monday. Be safe. Stay healthy.